All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back, I suppose, to another session of how to CAD almost anything. We're already in week 4. I think time is going by very quickly. So I'm very glad that, we've been doing a lot of progress so far. And this is more or less the halfway point of our summer session. So lots of exciting stuff coming up today. And we'll do a review of many of the things that we've been looking at over the past days. Not a lot of us today in here, unfortunately. So I guess maybe folks might come afterwards. So I'm gonna look straight to the computer, so I'll do more eye contact with the people that are connected online. But I'll still go ahead and I might be a little bit quicker today in the class, given that there's no folks present in here. And I'll do an overview. I have already pre-recorded myself doing some of the demos, right, with regards to some of the objects. So maybe I might skip those. I might do some other examples. I'm excited. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started with today's class. So I'm gonna go to the next slide. Yeah. So what we did last time, we worked on the fidget and the toy castle. Normally, I would ask you if you guys would have any questions at this point. I suppose no, so far, but that's okay. And so, if anything, just let me know if you encounter any issues with these. And we're gonna continue a little bit on these sorts of the things of this because today it's gonna be a session where we're gonna continue using pictures, continue building planes, continue adding a lot of details, so it's a lot of reinforcing a lot of these things, right? I would say this is more like the first half of the class of this summer session is just to look into like understanding the fundamental skills behind Onshape. And then we'll go starting in July. That's when we'll start going a little bit more complicated with the things that we'll be doing. Yeah, so any questions? No. So for a warm up, I thought I was thinking that perhaps it would be very interesting to design a power transmission line, a transmission tower, and you'll see it's actually not a very complicated thing. I have a couple of ideas of how I want to design this, and we'll make all of the details, right, with all of those like little column structure. I don't think it should take us more than an hour. And given this one, you can feel free and stop the video, right, and do it as you please. But the stuff that we would otherwise have planned for today would be the banana here and the marble run. Well, just to give you an idea, we have here, this is how the banana ended up looking like, and this is how the marble run ended up. The marble run, actually, the design is a little bit similar to how we would do the transmission line. So some of those ideas would translate there. Oh, hello. Hey, no, doing well. And then this is just an overview of all of the things that we have done so far. This is a bunch of different items, right, that we've looked at already, from the calculator to the castle, and then like the trays with inserting pictures, and the banana and the marble run. So it's quite a variety of things that we've looked at. So yeah, so I think we can go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and let's go here to Onshape. As you can see here, I'm gonna go here to power transmission line images. And I'm gonna look for a picture of the one that, oh, that's fine. My left side. See, oh, and if I can find the one, yeah, I think like this. This one. Yeah, so let me know when you're ready, and I'll start doing the demo of there. Yeah, so you don't need to, like, you can look at we'll look at that picture there. Okay. And we will reference it roughly. Are we gonna trace over it or no? Okay, then, okay. No, no, are we okay? So yeah, so we use this picture. So now I'm gonna go here to documents. I go to the class demos, and I'll create a new folder for week 4. Go to create. And then I create a new document here and I call it transmission tower. There we go. And I'll start a new sketch here. Actually, I'll do a first sketch here on the front plane. So I'll tell you more or less roughly what how I'm thinking about designing this thing. First, I'm gonna design more or less the outline. And it doesn't need to be a perfect thing. You can always scale these things, right? So, and I wouldn't worry too much about the particular dimensions I will use. Then first I do the outline. Then I'm gonna give this some volume to get a more or less an idea of how this is gonna look like. And then we're gonna start adding all of the details of the different pipes and connections in there. So I think this approach should be relatively simple and straightforward. So yeah, so let's go here to Onshape, and here I'm starting a sketch on the front plane. So I'm gonna design first like the outline of this thing. So I'll click here on E and I'll make these two lines the same. Then I'll make this like, let's say like 40. And then I'm gonna give this perhaps like the this look. Yeah, so it's like a triangle as you can see in there. So these three look kind of similar. Yeah, we can simplify our life a little bit. Go like this. Perhaps I'm gonna do a construction line. Like this. All right, so let me start providing some dimensions. Yeah, so try to copy something that looks roughly like this. It doesn't need to be exactly like this, but this is just to have a rough idea of what the sketch will look like that. 170, maybe this angle, I'll define it as 80 degrees. Maybe that height, I'll do it 15. Maybe that I'll make 50. Out of 15. Maybe 20. And then it had, and then on the top it's okay, something along these lines. Roughly, oh, I see, maybe I do that 70. With mirrors already once, all right, mirror line, and then these. Yeah, so that's roughly our outline, but we're gonna use this as a master sketch. You remember like that idea, like this is just something that we'll have as a reference. And nothing too fancy. And I'm just looking at here. Yes, I'll have a plane most likely there. Yeah. Yeah, so far. And then once you're done, just click OK. And I'm gonna just rename this as master sketch. And then in the meantime, while you're working on that, I'm gonna go here to plane and I'll create a plane that is right on that point that chops that right there. So maybe I'll now, I don't need the right plane. So I think all of those planes should be enough. Because now what I want to do is I'm gonna go here to the top plane in there and I'm gonna make a square that is this big. I'll make this line and this line coincident. And now this length, we know, I believe it was 80, right? So I'm gonna make that also 80. That way it's a square like that. Good. And then I'm gonna do another square up here. Make this and this coincident. Oh, yeah, that is fine. And then in here, do it as well. So the reason for doing that is because now I can just, well, I can already define a plane that goes within it, but I want to give this some volume first, even though we won't use this at first, but I can do a loft that goes from here to here. So you start to get an idea of how the structure of this thing could look like. And then I can do another sketch in the top plane. And I can convert all of these lines. And then we're gonna extrude them. Add one more right there. Extrude, I believe 10. And oh, actually symmetric, we can say just 20. Okay, so suppose you reach a point like this one. So now I'm gonna hide some of these planes. I don't need them necessarily. Yeah, so the reason why, and I'm gonna get rid of this sketch as well. So why did we do this is the question, right? Because we're gonna use this as a shell to make the actual structure of the tower, right? Because if you look at the picture of the tower, which is this one right here, we're gonna make it look roughly similar to this, right? But the reality is that now I'm gonna create a new, actually I'm gonna create a plane, and I'm gonna make this plane offset plane, and I'll choose this face right there, and I'll actually make it. I want an offset of 0, in the sense that now I just created a plane that is on this particular face right there. So I click OK. So now I have that plane, and that's the stuff that we're gonna be using right now. So then I can start doing a sketch on plane 2, and I'm gonna just create a bunch of lines right here. Maybe this one down there, I'm gonna make it construction. All right, so let's see. How does this look? So we have about there is like a little height. So maybe I'm gonna do a line that goes like this, and maybe or something that looks roughly like that. And then you have these triangular like structures, right? So then you do, I think there, this is something that looks roughly like this, right? So then we go here with a line, and then we do a construction, and I'm gonna make uh, this and that parallel. There we go. So we have how many of these? Like one, two, three, four. Okay. Let's see. Let's see whether we can make this work. Will be an interesting design for sure. I think it might be better if I first divided this into sections. That's gonna be give me one diamond, one diamond, one diamond. So I need one more. There. That way I can do, and then we'll define all of this to make it look nice. Well, it's gonna be a free diamond structure, as you can see there. So then I'll make this a construction, then other, then like this, and I'll make all of these equal. Then, yeah, I would probably want the distance. There we go. But I can make this and that one equal, this and that one equal, that and that one equal. Because you're starting to give this a little bit of height. And then maybe, I suppose, yes, I should have. There we go. So let's make this parallel. And maybe I'll make this distance here be 60. See, now it all turned black, which is good. Okay, I think this is looking mostly decent. I'm just thinking about what are some good strategies to make this. I think it's gonna be fun. Um, maybe I think I have an idea. What other ones? Yeah, maybe I'll add a couple of those ones there. It's not gonna be like super duper detailed, but it's gonna have most of the details. Yeah, we can make these. Oh, just like this. Yeah, as in this case. Yes, I'll probably finish it afterwards. But yeah, I'm just doing some pattern in here. Um, let's see. Again, join these using construction lines. Mm, First, let me make them all parallel. Very good. And now I can just join them like this, and I'll make all of them have the equal height. Like this one and this one equal, and this one and that one equal, and this one equal as well. Very good. Yeah, so like I kind of like that design, I would say, for the main structure. Um, yes. Let me see what else do I wanna add to. I'm just thinking, I'll make a circle that goes all the way like this. Then I'll make. I think we're fine. So I'm gonna start. So this part, I'm gonna hide it. So now we're left only with this sketch in here. And I'm gonna create a new plane, a bunch of new planes that are gonna be over here. So to make this rhombus, I'm gonna create a new plane that is, so I'll make it point normal, that's gonna be right there. You're gonna chop it right like that. And to make this rhombus over here, I'll make another plane that is right there. It's gonna be like a rough version of this, but I think it's gonna work. Then another plane that is right there. And then I'll probably need a bunch of planes that are, I think those ones won't be, yes, I'll probably need them. Let's first start with this. Because what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go here to the bottom plane, and then I can start the sketch. And here I can do a little circle, and I'll define this distance to be maybe, no, 10 is too much. So maybe I'll do, let's see, 2. Yeah, I think 2 could work. So why am I doing this? Because now I can do sweep, and I want to do this phase, and then sweep path, you just select the lines that you want. So I'm gonna do that as my sweep path. What if I selected design? Yes, it wouldn't work, right? Obviously. The thing that is pretty good, then I can go, I want to obviously show sketch 5. No, this is sketch 4. There we go. So now I can do here sketch in that plane. We're gonna do a little circle. This one we're gonna make it slightly smaller. So we'll make all of the internal ones just smaller. So then we can go here to OK. And then we go here to sweep. So as my face, I'll select sketch 6. Actually, I want to add this, right? And then sweep path. I'll select this line, this line, this line, and that line. So it's obvious it has to be like a closed sketch, as you can start to tell from here. Yes, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's like the best details. There's ways to improve this, and I'll show you afterwards. Because I believe if I were to go here, yes, I could. Okay, so let me just edit this for a moment. No, here, see if I can fill it there to make it say 1 millimeter. No, but it's yeah. I'd rather not fill it. I'll leave it like this. Maybe I'll make this circle a little bit smaller. There we go. So I'll do the same thing on these planes. I'll get a little circle. And I will sweep. So faces that one. And sweep path. I will select the rhombus. Yeah, so it's creating kind of an interesting junction in there. No, that's noticeable from the distance. It's the same thing with that one. So create a new sketch over here. We'll do a little circle. One. There we go. I think I did. Did I do that one 1.5 or? Yes, I think I did a little bit bigger. I'll check it afterwards. Yeah, do sketch 8 and sweep path. This one. There we go. And actually, I could do the same thing here. I could. So I'm gonna get rid of these planes for now. Be back. Yeah, so
Yeah.
in essence, what I'm doing is, yes, you have this grid
Yeah.
structure that you done, and then obviously gonna be a lot clearer. And then I'm using these lines to define the path that all of those pipes will be going for. So now, for instance, I can go here to the plane, right?
Yep.
It's gonna be a lot easier once you start doing it, but at least, hopefully, if you see me now,
yeah,
you
yeah.
get like the thought process. So I can select this point and this line.
Mhm.
So now I have a plane that is like normal to there. So then I go here to sketch, and I do a sketch on that plane 6. So then I do a little circle, and I click D, and I make that like 1. And then I exit, because then what I can do is go here to sweep, and I select sketch 9 as the profile, and the sweep path, I'm gonna select, for instance, uh, this. So you see how it takes you, yeah, you see it's not perfect because it goes a little bit, it's like leaving, but I think it's like also somewhat decent, right? Then
Yeah.
we can figure out how to sort those. This is like, I guess, the simplest way of doing something like this. So then I can now hide that sketch. Then for all of these lines, what I can do is the following thing. For instance, let me first hide this, because the minute you're done doing this side well, I'll multiply it by 4.
Right.
So now I'm gonna create 4 more planes with the point normal. So a plane that's gonna go here, then a new plane that's gonna go here, then a new plane that's gonna go here. So you see how I'm creating planes that start on like the line, and then a new plane that's gonna go here. So then we can do, say, a sketch on, I'm not sure how many planes I created, but oh, there's this one. This one, it's giving me an error. There we go. So now we have our 4 planes. So let's start with the first one, right? So I'll go to this one. So I do a circle right here. I give it dimension D. Then 1, and I click escape. So then here to sweep, and I select sketch 10, and then the sweep path all the way like that. So you see how it crosses. So let's see if there's any other settings. Yeah, maybe keep profile or anything. Nah, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm just saying. So now that we've done that one, I can hide plane 7. That way it doesn't bother me. Plane 8. So let's go here. Let's do a circle right over there. And I click on D, dimension 1, and then okay, sweep. So it's a little repetition, right? Like that's the name of the game in here.
Yeah.
It goes all the way there. So these ones look a little bit cleaner, right? The junction. So you can imagine that we are welding pipes by doing all of these things. Let's do a sketch on this one. And then you go here to the one. You see like the shortcuts are super simple. Then sweep. Then I said you can select them from here, right? And then sweep path, the line that we drew previously. And there's one more. So let me hide plane 10. And let's just sketch. Here we go. Circle over here. We'll do the 1. And then, okay, then sweep here, and then sweep path like this. Yeah, so it's a little bit difficult. Sometimes these demos are, they're easier in my mind than you would imagine. But yeah, so now let's do 3 more planes to create a sweep that will go here, a sweep that will go there, and a sweep that will go there as well. So the way to do that is we'll create a plane, so point normal here and there. Then, so you see, you can draw as many lines as you want, right? Like you can make it as detailed. I think this is a decent amount of detail that we're adding to our design. And then another line that's gonna go right here. So let's start with this one, right? So sketch, then I do a circle here, D1, and then I do a sweep of that one and sweep path like this. And I can hide, actually I can hide 13, there we go. Let's do this one. So sketch like that, a circle, and then the, and okay. Then we're gonna sweep like this and sweep path this one here. So I'm gonna hide 12 and this last one. So circle one and then okay, sweep. Wait. Yeah, so this is the main structure in a nutshell, because now what I could do is there is, I think it's this plane that chops this in half. So let's do a mirror. So I'm gonna, the entity I wanna mirror, I think it allows me to select, what even is sweep? So I need to go here to features, right? So I want to do that one, that one, that one, and these 3. And then the plane that we're gonna use, I think it was the right plane. And I click here on where it says reapply. Otherwise, it won't work.
And then it automatically fills in.
Yeah. So then actually, when you look at this from a distance, doesn't look too bad. That is, it's quite all right. Now, here's the fun part. We are gonna do a sketch on the top plane. And just for that, I'm gonna do a circle. It doesn't matter. You'll see why, like the dimension or whatnot, because then I go here to where it says circular pattern. And I can do a circular pattern. I'll make it of features, right? It doesn't matter. But in here, so actually, we do part, like this entire thing. And axis of pattern, it's that circle in there. So look at that, how it's suddenly have your structure. Ta-da! So it's not fully done because now we could be a little bit more detailed, right? And if you were to look into, oh, their power transmission line, I think the interior of this thing is empty. So that part we model it right. But I think if you look at the like this column, right? I think there's a, they model a little bit, say like these columns right here. So we can do exactly that. It's actually not too difficult. The way, so let me think for a second. What would be the easiest way to model this? I think if we go, so let's show. So it's a lot of like figuring out on the spot, right? These things. Maybe it's a sketch form. If I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Are you recording this?
Yes, it
Okay,
is me.
good, good,
No,
good.
no, no.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I just want to make sure the other people.
Yeah, that we'll be able
Yeah.
to see it. Yeah. So you have this sketch right here. I have an idea. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to this plane. We're gonna do a sketch on that plane. And now in that plane, I'm gonna convert this line, this line, this line. So these lines, you see how they end there, and that line in there. Very good. Now, the reason why and then I'm gonna go here to resist construction and I'll make all of these construction lines. Wait. Very good. And then the next thing I'll do is in other words, the purpose of doing is because I'm gonna create a plane in that point, in this point, in that point, and that point. So this is just like a helper sketch per se. And I will do exactly that. So point normal, so I'll select point and line. Same thing here, point and line. Here, point and line. I promise the next thing that we're gonna design after this is a lot easier. But this is
No.
but I like why we're doing this because it's a lot of practice of creating planes and it's a bit more challenging. I agree. But so now
You
we
have to
can
think ahead.
you have to think, yeah, you have to strategize a lot. So now let me just think for a second here because what I would like. Oh, I know exactly what we're gonna do. I think I know. So we're gonna do sketch, say on plane 17, right? So this is a lot of also figuring out as we go. But I'm gonna do a line that goes from this point all the way to that point in there. So why am I doing that? Because then I'm gonna project this line in here. So what I can do is I can do a mirror across this line of that line. So now we have this line in here, which I'm gonna make into a construction geometry. So why did I do that? Because now I create a line that is, I don't want it to be construction, solid line that goes like that. You see what I've done in there? Now I have that line and then we're gonna make a pipe that goes through there. So we'll do the exact same thing. So now I can actually hide that plane. So let's do the same thing on 16. Wait. Sketch. So I do a construction line that goes from here to here. Then I'm gonna convert, project that line into this sketch. And then I can mirror across this one, that one. That one, let's make it construction. And then I'll make a solid line that is right here. Excellent. And I can hide this. Which plane did I do it? I did it in that one. So I can hide. So we have that solid line. We have that solid line. Let's continue on this plane. Let's do a construction line that goes from here all the way to that point. Good. Now let's convert like we did before this. Let's mirror across here that one. Actually, it's not necessary to make that into a construction. The most important part is that that one is solid. So then hide. And now we're stuck with this one, which is the last one that we'll do. So we'll do a construction line that goes from that point right here all the way there. So now I want something that goes from here to there, right? So I'm gonna project that line. So we can now do a mirror across this of that line. And here we're just gonna do it between the midpoint. Like this. Good. So now we can hide this thing. Excellent. Good. So now we have all of our sketches in there. We need to create even more planes, right? We're not even done. But now we create a plane that is like this, right? Point normal there. Then create yet another plane that is point normal here. Then yet another plane, point normal there. And just one more plane that is point normal here. Good. So sketch on the very first one of these planes, which was right there. we do a little circle, dimension 1, okay, and the classic sweep. So sweep, sketch 23, sweep path, that line, and I want to add, what are you complaining about here? Oh, here, I just had to specify that. Good. So now we can hide this plane. Let's continue with the next one. Sketch on that plane.
Now,
With
is there
the,
a way to select all the planes and sort of group them and
and
then apply the same?
no, because
Nope.
they are because the planes you see they're like they're positioned in different
Okay.
like points. No, I wish it was easier
But you can do
than
that if it's on the same.
yes.
Okay.
No, in the same plane, yes. If there's if things were lying on the same plane, that would I would just do a sketch that is within the same plane.
Okay.
Here's it's a lot of tedious work because you're kind of building. This is similar to the real life in the sense that you're kind of building every pipe individually.
Okay.
And I'll say add and then merge with this thing. So you see how you're giving it the like the trash aspect to this. Yeah, so it looks at least this bottom part of the column it's looking somewhat realistic.
Mhm.
So then plane 20. Yeah, so after watching this video, right, you should be equipped to create a lot of planes and use the sweep command, which is
Mhm.
this one, uh, super comfortably. You can also, instead of using sweep, you can also extrude as well. It's a that is also a possibility. For now, I'm just using sweep because I think it gives you the control of selecting like the path, like we do now,
Mhm.
and then asking you here for add. Excellent, and we're almost done. Let's do a sketch, but then we need to do a circular pattern, right?
Right.
Of this stuff. So one more circle is gonna go here. Oh, that is too big. One. And then you might be wondering, right? If I wanted to change the dimension of all of these circles, what do you do? That is something that we're gonna learn in a later class in the
Mhm.
summer, which is creating variables and equations. So I can say, right, I want the dimension to be A, and then all of the circles that have dimension A, I mean, obviously it would be the same
Mhm.
dimension, and then
And
you
does
can
that,
and then you can change it like from a
and
centralized
then
space.
does it help to rename?
Yes,
Okay.
100%.
Yep. Okay.
So I'm gonna hide this. I don't need it. I can hide this as well. Yes, it's looking somewhat nice, but where was our circle is the question. I don't even remember. No, it was this one. So let's show it for a moment. Oh, now yes, we need to do a circular pattern of features. So the features that I wanna use are this one, that one, oh, this one, and that one. And the axis will be this. And then just click on where it says down here, reapply. It's gonna be asking you, I think this should work. I'm not sure why. Oh, hold on. Let me just edit. I'm not sure why it's creating new parts, but it's fine. You can always do here a boolean.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask.
Yeah, and we can just go for.
Now, does it save, help? Did you just do that at the end?
No, I want to do it now. That way, like honestly, I'm really not sure why it created it's a bit weird. Let's see, let's click 11. At least it doesn't seem to be complaining. Um, Fascinating. Why? So the top in the top cases it worked. Um, Let me just go here to edit. Yeah, I'm doing part 2 here, edit. That's part 2. Yeah, part 2. Yeah, there's also this one that you remember, the one that we were using as the shell. Well, it doesn't matter. I think we can just let me just proceed. We can leave it like this for now. So we've done at least the main base structure. So what comes afterwards, right? If we look at this, it's even simpler, because what we're gonna design now is just a little portion. And you see how in our original sketch, so let's pull this one up, the master one. I made it such that perhaps I might need to edit this, right? But these were like equal instances of each other. That way I can do 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
So then it's gonna be, in fact, I'm gonna go here to edit the master sketch. So say that was 15 and that's 20. I'll make that 20 as well. That way you have this portion in here, that portion in there, and that portion in there as being identical. So let's go ahead and do that, right? Let me think about what would be the best way to do that. And I think that if we were to go here to, I think it was the front plane, right? In here, we're gonna create a new plane. We're gonna make an offset to this plane. And I believe the distance between here and that one was 10 millimeters. So this plane in there, if you were to extend it all the way to the top, it would start there, right? So let's do that, right? Let's start doing a sketch on this new plane that we created. And the very first thing I could do is just project that line, right? So you see that that line lies, it's like concentric with that pipe in there. Yeah, so maybe let's start by building more or less like a structure, and then we can start extruding, and then we'll do. This case might be a little bit, even a little bit simpler than what we did before, because we only need to, we'll probably do a face and then we'll mirror it to the other side, right? So then let me just move this in here. Again, this is like the aspect of our class where we need to strategize how we want to, how do we want to do this. So I'll bring all of these, right? So you have it there, okay. So I think I want to do a pipe that will follow this path. Maybe I'm gonna convert, no, here. Well, I could actually make it go all the way to the top, but since I want to add a couple of details, I'll just make a portion of this. So let's see. This looks roughly fine. Then some other details that we can add. If we look at this, you see how it has like columns like that. So maybe we're gonna make it have, yeah, we can make it have like a truss structure in there, and then we can obviously, so we'll create individually all of those pipes afterwards, and then we can have maybe some that go like this. So one way I like spacing things out, right? You could say, all right, maybe I want the distance between here to be 20, that one, between those 2 points, 20 as well. 20, 20 is right. Okay. This sketch seems fine for now. We'll see how much we can use it. So we'll click OK. This one, in contrast, I'm gonna hide it. I don't need it anymore. So then we're gonna create a new plane. a point plane, a point normal. So I'll create a point here and a line, and I'll select these two. So it's a plane that chops that over there, right? Which we already had that plane from a different. So I'll do here a sketch in this face, and I'll do a little circle. I'll give that dimension 1. So actually it didn't matter that we have this because I think that's gonna disappear. It might disappear. So what? So with that little circle, then I'll go here to sweep, and I'll select 28, and then the sweep path. All right, we'll start. Oh, now I think it has to be a little bit bigger. It doesn't matter. We'll do that momentarily.
Oh, because it's the
Yeah,
external truss.
it's external trash. I think actually that looks fine because it's external trash exactly. Okay. So see how it gave us the overall structure in there. So now you go back to 28, and I'll say that that is supposed to be a 2. And this looks actually roughly okay because you are like supporting it. You know, if you have like a pipe, you can imagine that you're doing like a bent cut, and then you're like soldering it in there. So it's not terribly unrealistic, I would say. And I like it that it's kind of getting rid of some of the ugly details from before. But I still want to show this one, right? But then we need to create a bunch of new planes for it, and we're also gonna only do half of this, right? So I create a new plane that is gonna be point normal here, and then I will actually create yet one more plane that's gonna be that one, right, to make that diagonal, and then one more plane to make uh this diagonal here. It's becoming a mess, as you can see. So let's go slowly. So let's do a sketch on 24, right? Right, like that. So I'm gonna do first. Actually, I'm gonna make, as you were saying before, already 3 circles, right? Because it's the same plane. And I will make them all equal. And then I will dimension this to be 1. So I'm gonna try something different here. If I were to go to extrude, I think there's a command in here that tells you that you could do up to face. So I can say that I want up to this face. So you see how you have to be like strategic about, all right, which one of the commands do I want to use? And that works actually. That does the trick. So this is good. So now I can, hide that plane. Now let's do that line, right? So let's go here to sketch. So I'm gonna go here to do a circle. It's gonna go like that. D equal to 1. And in fact, I can also do an extrude where it's I can tell it to go up to vertex like that, and I say add, and yes, you want to merge like this. So this works because the sweep is good when it's a path that it has like a bunch of bends and whatnot. But if it's just a straight line, you can also there's an equivalent which will be the extrude in here. And so now we can get rid of this one, and let's do. Hopefully, I'm not boring you.
No.
But looking, this is at least now if worst comes to worst, you can always become a power line engineer. Just designing these towers for them. And yeah, we'll do exactly that up to vertex. And I'm gonna choose that point right there. And yeah, that works. And let's do, let me just hide. I can hide that as well. I can do one more plane in here. Good. Sketch. I'll go all the way up to vertex. So now we got our little structure, right? We're not done because what we would need to do is a quick mirror. So we'll do a feature mirror and features to mirror 1. that. And that's about it, just those ones. So the mirror plane is gonna be, what is it, the top plane? No, that one, the right plane. And we'll say reapply. Oh, but you see how, yeah, sometimes it messes with me like that. It's okay. So that was, what plane was that? Not the end of the world because I can just redo this one. Sometimes the mirror tool doesn't work properly, as you can see. So just letter E and make all those equal. Oh, did it work? Yes. Okay, so we can just extrude upwards up to. It's like the when you do this one, this up to face, right? It changes a little bit. It's not exactly the same face. But now, yes, I can mirror all of this stuff towards here, right? That yes, we can definitely do. So let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully it's gonna work. Otherwise, I'll be very sad. So let's do a feature mirror. Features to mirror is gonna be this stuff. Then then those pipes. That pipe. Oh, this pipe. And once it becomes yellow, it means that it has been selected. All right. So all of those pipes and the mirror plane is gonna be I think it should be the front plane then. Okay. It's generating properly. I can say reapply feature just in case. All right, I'm not gonna say reapply features. There we go. Which is probably what happened in here. Shouldn't have clicked on reapply features, but it doesn't matter. So now we have our little circuit, but this is not done, right? Because what I would want to do is I want to connect this on the, so as like before, we're only gonna do half of this. But we have plane 24 and plane 24 is critical in here because I can do a sketch in here and all I'm gonna do is actually, I know the distance. Oh, this is actually not too difficult. Let's see, do I have a plane that is, I think I do, right? Like, what was plane 23 or? Yes, plane 22. I'm gonna do a sketch in this one, right? And I'll create a cylinder in this point, in this point, in this point, in this point. So like a lot of them, as you can see. All the way like that. Maybe, why not here too? Oh, we're not gonna care about that side, right? So this is, so these are the, actually, this one I don't need it because we already have it, right? But so I'll create cylinders that are, maybe this one right there, this one is the only one that I'll make size 2. Then all of the other ones, I'll make them equal. So this one and that one equal, then this and that equal, this, then that one and this one equal, this and that equal, and the same thing there. Okay, so then I give this a dimension of 1. So why am I doing this? Because now what we can do is an extrude towards the other direction. That's gonna be size 20. I think that's the, like the length of all of these things. I want this to be added, merging scope. It's gonna be this. Part 13, whatever that may be. I'll need to merge some of these things eventually. Yeah, that seems fine. So now we could add like a bunch of, I can add like a triangle here and a couple of triangles over there as well, need be. Question.
Now, can you mirror this part
Over
over
there.
here?
Yes.
And then can you create, for lack of a better word, an illustrator, you would group could you group that and then
Oh yes, exactly. That's
Okay.
that's what we're focusing only on
only
this
on one section?
on the one section, right?
Okay.
No, this then we're gonna make a linear pattern of this
Mhm.
stuff 3 more times.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's spend some time doing exactly this. So I'm gonna create perhaps another plane, which will be necessary. It's gonna be an offset plane from this one right here towards the other side by 20. So now I have a plane that is on this face in here. The reason why I'm doing that is because now I want to do a sketch on this plane, on sketch for Revive, and I want to convert entities like many of these lines, right? So I'm gonna go here like this. I want to have a sketch, right, that also represents, because it's gonna be useful afterwards when I trace some of these things. Maybe I'll leave. I think the square seems fine for now. I'll leave it open ended like that. Um, so now that we have done that, I can click escape. So there's this tool that's called the 3D sketch, and it's gonna be super useful here. So I can do a 3D line, for instance, that goes between, say, this point and that point, right? And then I can do, well, probably I wanna show this. I can do another 3D line that goes between this point and that point. So this is nice because it prevents me, it's just defined by 2 points in space, right? So that's where we're gonna do a cylinder that goes there, another cylinder that goes
So
there.
rather than creating a separate plane, you
Exactly.
choose this. Okay.
So it's a little bit quicker because I already have the points, and yeah, maybe I'm being too lazy here, but yes, let's create another 3D line that goes between this point and that point. That way we have at least like these trusses. Since it's, you could have a plane, right, that goes through those two,
Right.
and perhaps another 3D line that goes between this point and that point right there. So we're gonna create 1, 2, 1, 2, and then what other perhaps we could do from here to here. I think this is fine, right? Let's keep it. Let's keep it. Otherwise, oh, I'm forgetting about one very important one between here and there. Yes, that way it's all covered. Okay, so now very easy because I'm gonna create a plane, and this one is gonna be again the point normal plane. I can select this in here, right? But then I do a sketch on 29. Do d equal to 1. And then we do the usual. Now I can do an extrude, right? Because these are all straight lines. Do add, and I'll say up to vertex that, oh, there we go. Like just like that. Boom. And I can hide this plane that way it's not bothering us. So this is like a nice, interesting, symmetric structure. So let's do the same thing on here, right? Another plane, point and line. So these 3D lines, I only use them purely for these purposes. Otherwise, don't use them. It doesn't, it wouldn't make a lot of, let's do that one. So this is again the part where we need to be patient, right? But I think the result in the long run, it's gonna be great. And merge. Wait. Probably afterwards, after class, I'll record myself trying to figure out how to merge all of these things together. For now, we shouldn't worry. The thing is looking fine. We'll do plane, point and line. So all of this seems to be part 13, this stuff in here. We'll do sketch here. We'll do letter D, 1. And We go up to vertex. And then we'll say merge scope like this. So this approach that we're doing in here, I should say, yes, today we're using it to make this transmission tower, right? But say you wanted to build like a racing car or like a more complicated structure that has also like pipes and whatnot. It's as easy as just defining the grid, because all of what we're doing in here is it's like when you were younger, or at least this is what I did when I was a kid. I would play with copper wires and I would build like little structures with that. We're doing something very similar in here. You're just you're creating like the copper, like the wire structure of this thing, which is we're doing it with this. We can do the same thing with the fruit, right? When we do the banana and all of the other stuff. All right, so that's great. And so it's an extremely powerful technique, in my opinion. And we're almost done. We're gonna make so highly well, but you see how there's a lot of support, it seems. Over there, up to vertex, add, merge with these. Okay, pretty good, right? So far, maybe I don't think I'll probably need them at some point again, because we're gonna do something similar to this, like which is like the top end of the structure afterwards. So now that we have this, let's do a mirror of features. And the features to mirror are obviously gonna be all of those, then these diagonal pipes. I think that's about it. Okay, so the mirror plane, that's gonna be I think it's the right plane. Excellent. Reapply features. You see how, so now that's complaining in there.
So you have to select those individual pipes and merge to the vertex, right?
Yeah, so actually, it's not the end of the world. It just means that I'm just gonna delete all of these. So whenever that happens, this is an example where instead of using extrude like this trick, and we have all of them, right? It's not the end of the world. I'm just gonna sweep.
Okay.
So I would say, for instance, I do 37 and then sweep path that. Yeah, there's not the end of the world, right? You just say, all right, merge with that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just to make sure that this approach works, right? I think it's gonna work. Right? Let's do it real quick. But this is an example where a software like SolidWorks, which is the one where I taught the class at the beginning, it's more powerful than this. So, but again, this software I'm very satisfied so far because of the fact that it's open source and you can use it from the computer. You don't need to pay, right? But it faces obviously, we need to recognize what the limitations are. At least it's a quick thing, right? It's not. So let's try again, right? Let's do a mirror. Entities to mirror. We'll do again this, and then no features. Like this and that one. And let's see if it's gonna behave this time or not. Let me see, reply.
Yes.
It seems like it. Seems like it. Okay, good. Not bad, huh? Like so far we're building our little transmission tower in here. And then it would be funny if we did the cables as well, which we could totally do.
Right.
In fact, we might end up doing at some point, right? So now, what you were already anticipating, which is the linear pattern. Now, what I don't remember, I think we said that was 20 and we said that was 15, right? So it's a pattern of 35. So let's do a linear pattern of parts. So you see, it seems it's selected all of this stuff. Okay, so it didn't select. Oh, so it's part 12 and part 13 that I want to. There we go. So perhaps this is an instance, right, where I could go here to Boolean and say I want to merge them.
Mm,
So now it's just part 12.
right.
Good. I mean, just like a distinction in here. So you do a linear pattern of part 12 along what direction is gonna be along here. We're gonna say 35. Look at that. And now we're gonna say 3. So that's why
Oh, okay. So
you can do,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
it
yeah,
can
yeah,
be
yeah.
as big as you want, the
Right,
tower.
right, right.
So you just need to be methodological about it.
Mhm.
Not bad, right? So
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
but let's make it properly, right? It has we can make like,
Now, can you mirror?
yes, you could do the other way around, but I want to do
Okay.
something different in here because the top tower of this thing, it's not exactly. Let me think for it about this for a second, because you see like this length, right, of this side
Yeah.
is about the same length as this side in
Mhm.
here. But that length of that side in there is a little bit different than the length in there. So what are we gonna do about this? Well, not too difficult. I'm gonna let's see, where's our plane? Lots of planes, right? It's like sometimes it wouldn't be bad to rename them.
Mm.
So I'm gonna make an offset plane from this one, right? So it's gonna be, I'm gonna offset this by, and you can write here 35 times 3. So where does that leave us? Right at the top of this thing. Which I'm gonna have that plane in there, and then I'm gonna create yet one more plane right here. Yeah, so maybe about this height, let's do it about 35, something along these lines. So I'm gonna do a sketch on this plane. Let's start drawing for a moment. Where's the origin? Oh, it's there. I'm gonna draw a random line and then click I and I. That way, this point in here, it's the middle of the rectangle in there. Okay. So I'm gonna make that 70. I think that was, actually we could make it a lot longer if we wanted to. This could be 100. Like this. Okay. I'm just being creative for a moment. So we said that distance in here, right, between this point and that was 20. So we're gonna make this distance in here be 5 instead. So we're gonna create right now like the top face of 5. And so hold on, I'm gonna make this a construction line here. This is supposed to be 10, and the distance here is supposed to be 10. So this point in here should be aligned with the top, should be aligned with, like, say, that point, this point in there. So I can do a line that goes like this. Do another one that goes like that. As well. Oh, I think that was fine. It's not it's not completely intuitive how to do this. We're gonna draw a line right there. I'm just thinking for so maybe what we could do a pattern of in just a moment is we could do like a little box. Like we can just raise it in here. We'll see. I think I have an idea. I just need to think for a moment how exactly I want to do this. So we can do a mirror along this line of all of this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna stop for now with this structure, right? So that's like the top plane of this thing. So what I can do is go here to our render plane, and I can create a point normal plane that is right here. Doesn't matter, it chops that in half. But then I can do a sketch over there, and then do a circle. And this one, because it's one of the like the main ribs, will make it two. And we'll do a sweep of this thing along. So it's gonna be a new body, right? Because this is for now floating in space. Okay. We'll leave it as is for the second. Hide that one. Okay, so then what I'll do is I'll create, let's do another plane. We'll do an offset of this one, maybe by, let's say 20, or let's do 15. So I wanna do a rectangle there, and from that rectangle we'll start creating all of the ribs that will go to one or the other one. So do a sketch in this one, and for that one, maybe let me so there we go. So I'm gonna convert entities 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, just want the line. Yeah, let's do a mirror of this thing. That's it. So nothing too difficult for now. And then as usual, we'll do it was in, what plane was it in that one? I'll do a sketch of a circle. But this can be, I wanna make it, no, I'll make it I'll size it as 2. It's okay. And then there's here a sweep of this along there. So now you see that we have a square floating, that structure floating. So it's kind of a mess for now. But now let's join everything together, right? So this is where things are gonna get more interesting. Well, actually, perhaps. Let me think. I wanna show not this sketch. I wanna show that sketch because I'm gonna do a 3D line, right? Which is gonna be from this point to this point. See how that line is definitely angled, as you can tell from there. So that was the point about why to do something like this. And now we can do another 3D line, say from here to that point. So then we're gonna make pipes that go like that. And I wanted to do perhaps a 3D line that went from here, perhaps all the way there. But I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that would be roughly fine. Like there. And then I do, I think that's fine, but then I can do a circular pattern. So then perhaps one more that goes from here to there. Yeah, so now we're gonna make our structure purely based on 3D lines, which is, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be, and just one more. Like this. So my conjecture is that we'll make this one and that one, that one and that one, and then we'll make these two. So we'll make 6. This one will mirror them. These two will do. So maybe we'll stop after. Well, actually, I could do a couple more that go like this, but I think maybe I'll stop after we do this. So maybe we might leave
So if
this.
you make these two, you can mirror it all the way around, or
Yeah.
make a circular pattern.
Yeah, so these
Yep,
two
and
will
then
make a circular pattern for
Make
sure.
this one all the way around 4, these two you could mirror onto that side.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, this one in here, right? I don't need that line. We only
Okay.
need these five because then look, I could also do a plane that is defined by there's one that's called the 3-point plane, which is I choose this point, and I choose that point. So now I have a plane that is along that face.
Okay.
So I can even now do a sketch on 38, right? And then do a line that like a bunch of lines that go like this. So we can have say free and I can go right. I want the distance between here and here to be 20, 35. 20. Yeah, we might leave it like that. Let's see. Let's give it a shot. Again, it's a lot of Karate Kid attitude in here in terms of figuring out. So it's a lot of repetition. This is just in the videos when I go at 4x the speed, it's like this is one of those moments I would suppose there. But I'm glad that at least you're finding it useful. That's the most important part for me. So then we'll do a plane, a point normal. Uh, uh, Point normal. There we go. So point normal, and let's do a sketch in this one. So we'll do it carefully, right? And what time? Oh wow, it's already. We've been doing this for a while. I like it. I've been. Hopefully, I haven't bored you. No. With all of these. Right, so we got that one in there. Then I'll do a sweep just to be sure about this. And sweep path is gonna be this. And merge. Uh, oh, merge scope. I want to merge it with this, and I want to merge it with that part in there. So I guess merge all. I should. I'm not sure whether that's gonna work. So I'll just say yeah. Hold on. Let me just try again. I think I misselected. Okay. Let me just do that and then sweep path this. Oh, there we go. Okay, okay. Now yes. So I'm merging. So now those two are gonna be connected. So now we did that one. Good. So now I can hide that one over there. Then let's do. I think we had that top plane. I don't remember what was here. No, might be 36. No, it's 35. Um, yeah, I think these are fine for now, right? Because then I can make them all equal. Then I'll make them size 1. And then I extrude them up to face. Oh, there we go. Okay. And now we just need to do these ones over here. So then on plane for this. Yeah, I'm getting confused now with my very own planes. But I create now a new circle. Do this one, and this one will be able to reuse it once for this line and once for actually, yes, yeah. So let's do actually let's see. Let's see if it allows me to do a sweep where I select this and then for sweep path I select both that one and that one. Does that work? And merge scope this. Yeah, so let's keep them as separate for now. Well, it worked. I'm not complaining. Like the height in there. See, it's not perfect, the height of the, like ideally this would go a little bit deeper down, but it doesn't matter. So now let's do one more plane point, normal in here and there. We'll do a sketch there for that one. Um, let's make it go. Let's make it as a sweep just to be on the safer side. Yeah, good. And lastly, let's do a new plane like this. And okay, moment of truth. Let's start patterning some of these things. The first thing that we should do is pattern these three. So I'll do a circular pattern of features, and the features that I want is that one, this one, and this one, and the axis of pattern is gonna be wherever. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Okay. We need to click on reapply features. Good. All right, it worked.
Yep.
So we have that little box structure in there. Excellent. Now we're gonna do a mirror of entity feature mirror of this and that. And the mirror plane is gonna be front. Good.
Mhm.
And then we could close it off.
Yeah.
We can do it like,
Yep.
or maybe we might leave it like, well, we'll see what we do. And then we're gonna mirror this stuff towards the other side, right? So I'm gonna go here to mirror, and I'll select again features to mirror. So again, this and that, and I'm gonna mirror the mirror, right? That we had it from before. A mirror plane is gonna be, I think it's the right plane. Yes. Not bad.
Yeah.
So we're almost done. So again, all of the effort. I'm very satisfied looking at this tower. Not an easy thing to do. Probably in the video that I might extend this for a moment afterwards, maybe 10 more minutes. Like not I'll let you leave, like don't worry about it, to show how to do the cables. But what we could do together, we still have a little bit of time.
So if you wanted to loop the cables, would you create a Boolean of this entire structure?
Actually, I can show
And
you.
then could you duplicate that? Duplicate the structure?
No, maybe what I was thinking for the cables is doing something that hangs from here, right? Like
Sure.
I'm not. I don't think I would make it as detailed as that. Look, I can show you. Let's do one of the cables together. Um, it's gonna be interesting because let's see. I'm gonna make a point normal that goes just first a plane that is right there. But now I want a plane that is just a little bit offset like this, right? So maybe uh there's where does that chop it? Okay. So I'm gonna hide that one for now. Then I'll do a sketch in here, right? And maybe let's see, I'm gonna convert, a project I'm not sure what that line represents here, but it doesn't matter because what I can do is I can extend this line. This will be useful. I just want to make like a cylinder that is hanging from here. So I'll make that be 4. Oh, there, now it's all fully defined. Okay. 4. And then I can make a rectangle. Like this. Where is our friend perpendicular? This. Maybe the height of this, I can make it like 2, right? Why am I doing this? Because I'm gonna do a revolve axis around here, right? So we're gonna pretend that the cables go through here, right? Just to like we're gonna do some imagination so that the plane is in there. So now what we can do is the following thing, right? I can do a sketch. Or maybe that's a big circle. Maybe what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plane 43. I'm gonna move it by 7 instead. And I'm gonna edit this revolve. No, I'll edit this one. That was not such a big circle, so maybe I'll make it 1. Wow, it's like right on the boundary. Yeah, well, that looks somewhat realistic. And I can do a sketching here where I'm gonna show this. There we go. And now I can do like a spline, right? That goes. Let's make the. But once we do this cable, right, and then we're gonna mirror it, then I can make multiple copies of the tower. Which is I'm not sure whether I'll do it with you now, but I promise.
Yeah.
It's again, this is all possible, right?
Yeah.
Maybe in order to enable that to be the case, I'm gonna make a straight line. That way I can ensure a couple of things. First, I want to make these two perpendicular. Then I want to more or less define a little bit better the. That way we know, all right, how long this is gonna. That way we can make it a little bit longer. We can say, let's be generous, 700. Yeah, so there's a lot of maybe 70. That's too much. Maybe 20. But now, yes, we can play a little bit around with the points. So that's too little. Maybe 50 was okay. Because I'm gonna do a line in here. That way I can make that. So why is this not? Wonder why. Oh, I see. I need to make these two parallel. I'll make this line and this line. Now you see how it became black? I just like having fun doing these little. Only problem is that now I'll draw the spline again. That way, I don't want this. Oh, I need to make this and that coincident. There we go. Now, yes. And now I'm gonna make this tangent right here. I don't know. I haven't looked at the power lines in a while, right? So I'm not sure whether this is realistic or not. But I think this is mostly fine. And the reason, and now I can say, okay, let's leave this sketch for a second. Let me just hide this. And now I can do a sketch in this phase. We can pretend our power lines are now 0.5. So sweep of this bad boy along here. So now you have your power. Now you have one of your lines. And I'll say, yeah, merge with part 12. So now you can see how the line is extending all the way. Actually, I can hide those things. Maybe I can do like some details in here. Oh, that's too much. Because now we're almost done. Like after this, you'll see what are the last few things. Because now we'll mirror this thing. So mirror this thing, feature mirror, that feature around the right plane. No, not the right plane, the front plane. And now, as you're probably guessing, linear pattern of features. Ooh, we've done a lot, right? Today was 35. Reapply features. That way it becomes. Oh, so now what are you complaining about? Maybe I'll there. I'm just gonna do a like this because um maybe hold on. Let me first do this. Oh, I see exactly what's going on. I see. Uh, what it's complaining is whether it's where this thing merges. Um, I have an idea. With this revolve, let's make that into, let's make this a new part. So now, when I do this linear pattern, I'll make it a part pattern. So the entities to pattern is, uh, so maybe let me just make sure that when I'm, add, but I want to add it to this instead. The same thing with a chamfer. Good. Mirror, edit. Yeah, whatever. They are patterning parts.
Yep.
And for that reason, one more mirror of parts. Oh, mirror plane. The power of CAD. I think this is a good moment to stop in here, but I'll continue extending the video. Hopefully, at least watching me doing.
No.
At least, yes, I know you didn't do it yourself, but you get to see like the thought process or all of this. So this video, I'll put it up. I still have to finish it, but to give you an idea of what else I want to do is, I'll probably just finish adding a little bit more details up here, and then maybe adding one more power line, like because this has a power line up there, right? Maybe another one. Maybe like I might change this in such a way that I have two cables coming off instead of one. and then I'll add one more of those up here. And then once I figure out how to create that single part out of all of these, I'll create multiple copies of the same thing. Yeah, but at least in a nutshell, this is the main structure. So hopefully,
Be methodical, plan, be as efficient as possible. If you
Right.
can repeat something,
repeat it.
repeat it. If you can mirror something,
Mirror it. Yeah, so maybe like it's gonna be extended like 1 more hour. The video. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take, but I had a lot of fun. Right, it's an interesting challenge. Right, like they bring you this stuff, and you're like, right, how do we do it? And looks fairly similar. I'll color it and everything. Well, I'll stop sharing now, and here the main two characters of today's story. So see you guys next time. Bye.